And education should not be just memorizing of facts. This learning has to be relevant to us as well. It's not knowing just what we were told. Education becomes a problem when it is not responding and enabling people to become the best of who they are.
A students never make employers. They are always employed. What makes a C student successful in the job market?
The reality on the ground requires a thinking mind, not a pleasing system mind.
Oh.
Now, the C student is the one who can dare to doze in class. Who can dare to pick some fruit on the way to school.
Yes.
They seek pleasures. They live. They see. Yeah, so they are the ones who would dare take risks because they have learned how to take risks.
Are we obsessed with jobs, being employed?
We have been conditioned. The people we saw who made it are those who had jobs. So the image in our mind of success is to be employed. People that seem to go to hospitals that you pay quite a bit, people who seem to eat the best of the land are not the people who are employed.
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi, and I say what this conversation, this platform provides is an opportunity for us to be able to learn and relearn. And today we get to do that with an expert, someone who has been here for a long time. And I'm pretty sure she understands what we are bound to talk about. And she'll also give us solutions to what we can be able to do. Because I'm also tired of hearing that university graduates in this country are suffering, they are struggling. I'm tired of how we define our education. I'm tired of just having politics in this field. And I hope by the end of today we can be able to do what? Learn and relearn. I'm about to let her introduce herself so that she can walk us through the topic of the day. But before I do that, I have to say thank you so much to you guys for being active participants of our work. We are coming to the end of the year and we've walked this journey together. I believe 2024 has been a great year. We've had a couple of difficulties here and there, but I love the fact that we stood our ground and we were active participants of things that are happening in our country. So I appreciate you for subscribing. If you've not subscribed, please do so. It's free and it goes a long way into making sure that our content reaches the right set of audience. And now, of course, without further ado, please allow me to let my guest today introduce herself. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
Because I am happy. No. I sit with the lecture and I'm like, Lynn, why Lynn? How did I do?
Excellent.
Thank
you. You are doing very well.
Thank you so
much.
much.
And the purpose for which you say this, that you have the conversation is very important. That trying to understand why we are here. Yeah, you asked me to introduce myself. Yes. Rebecca Nganga is the name I go by. And I'm not an expert, but a continued learner.
Yeah.
I am a learner who continues to wonder and fascinated by life, fascinated by the goodness of the living God in the land of the living. I've just come with an Uber and I was saying, we have Gorova roads, we have some on the sky, the expressway. I mean, we have seen changes. Everybody has a phone in their pocket. When I did my primary, there was nobody who had a phone.
Yes.
Neither the office, no anybody. I mean, you've seen the newness. And I'm very grateful. By the grace of God, I've gone through the school system, from primary to the 4 years of secondary school, to the 2 years of advanced level, to the years of the university. Yes, I went through the system, which is basically a filtering system. Only very few would go to the next level. It's today when I look back, I realize, wow, it was quite an honor to be part of that group that went on. And then somewhere, somehow, in my life, I started wondering whether this is all there is. whether is this the reason we went to school. You see, once you've come through to university, gotten married, gotten a baby, I mean, it's like, you've ticked every box. I felt something wasn't quite going right. One, we started running out of water in the estate I was living. Otherwise, before, the water was treated. It was on the tap all the time. We had the city council places of putting rubbish. They picked it twice a week, or 3 times sometimes. Then they now stopped picking. Now you are in Nairobi. There is no shamba to throw the rubbish. What do you do with your trash? So I saw people now, we are having to put it, to do what you don't want to do. It's like answering the call of nature, where there's no latrine, there's no toilet, there's nowhere, but you're a human being. So I saw this helplessness coming in. And that's when I started asking myself, is this all there is? Another thing that really pushed me was that with my baby, I don't know what you get it. My baby, who has a double look. It has my look and the father's look. That was, I would sit there and look. It was very nice. It still is.
Yeah.
Then I have to leave my baby, go with milk of the baby to the place I'm working, and the baby is left to take cow's milk. I wondered, did the education dehumanize me? So that my baby now has to feed with what should be fed to cow. Anyway, that disorganized my thinking. I started questioning, because all along people grow up with their babies. That time, the City Council of Nairobi, the women selling carrots and everything, then the City Council would say they are doing things wrong. They would put them in the lorry. I noticed every mother had a baby. They went to the cell with their baby. But me, because of my degree, my baby has to be left.
Oh, wow.
To somebody who doesn't have that God-given nurturing instinct. And let me tell you, Lynn, I realized, no, that's not the way things. So I started having lots of questions. So that's how, to cut a long story short, I had done commerce. I did BCom in the university. I had to look for how else to do. To think, to wonder, to reflect. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? Why did we go to school? And with what difference? So that's my journey.
No, I love that we started there, because one of the questions that I was going to ask is, why do we go to school? What is education, and why do we need it so bad?
That question has kept me to this day, because if you don't know the purpose, the reason, let me tell you, it's the late Miles Monroe who said, that if you use something for what is not intended, you abuse it. That if you use a knife to do what an axe should do, you destroy the knife. So, or if you use an axe to peel potatoes, you sure do a poor job if there will be any potato left. So basically understanding, why are we here on planet Earth to begin with? Why did God create us? What is the meaning of life? Then we go on, why did I go to school? Was it so that I fit into communal boxes that the society had made? Or was there something more? So literally from that time, I have kept on this search. Because what happened is that somehow, I ended up in the classroom and trained teacher, but teaching and wondering, this art of knowing, like I was teaching, since I did become teaching mathematics, and I'm thinking, why would anybody not get mathematics? Because mathematics is a language, and it is a language you can't avoid and afford not to know. Because somewhere Life is mathematical. You have to pay the matatu. You need to know the change you get. You sell your skumas. You need to know. I mean, mathematics is an art we have to live with. It's not a question you have failed or passed. It's something you must know.
Okay.
Yeah, so that concerned me. And so I would spend a lot of time trying to see what it is. And what I realized is that somewhere, somehow, in the growth path, somebody has been told things because our thinking is very important. So they have been told things that make them doubt themselves and has kind of built a mental wall that make you not able to get it. And so my job now was to dismantle that wall so that you are able to see. And may I put it that that's been my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been your continuous journey.
Yes.
And I love that you said we never arrive.
No.
You are not an expert because you're on a continuous journey. We really never arrive, do we?
How
really
can we?
never.
COVID came the other day. We were thrown out of the classrooms at physical places of meeting. My students told me, Madam, the class has to go on. Please, let's not. I mean, they laughed our gathering. So I said, no, I don't know these online things. They said, don't worry. We are going to set you a link, touch it, do this, do this. I was educated. And now I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah. So if you block yourself from learning, if you start saying that I've finished, you are there's nothing like finishing. We are in the classroom of life, and we must continually learn. Like now that Zoom thing, see, we are learning. And like I was telling the Uber driver I've come with that we must remain open, because with artificial intelligence, we can't close the door. We are in school, and we must keep refreshing ourselves. There's nothing like arriving. The world is moving. We are increasing in number, and our land is not increasing. And the world is about trade. Who are we in it? What are we doing? So if we don't learn how to learn, like you said, I mean, we'll be left there. It's like some of my colleagues who said they couldn't understand this Zoom thing. And they had to leave. And unfortunately, not many of them are still, they left life. Yeah, you leave the class and leave life. Yeah. So there's a way we have to keep breathing. Yeah.
All right. So our education system, because one of the things I've heard people say is we are using the wrong system. Why do we need the colonial education system? Why do we need to master? Every time I have a guest, I tell them the example is mitochondria. These are the functions of why do we need to find X minus Y equals to what? Why do we need that? Why can't we understand our soils, our this and this? So first and foremost, why that kind of education system? And from where you are sitting, what are the benefits? Or what do we get wrong about the kind of education system we have in our country? And is it the right one?
It's the right one. Yeah, those are very good questions. Very, very good questions, because we must have conversations about how we are where we are. And that's what we are saying. The education system, we have said the word colonial, and certainly this was not the way people learned. And education is a way of broadening mental horizon over people so that they learn to be at home with who they are. They discover their potential, and therefore they are able to go through life identifying the limitations that they have, and therefore also thinking through how to come with the response to that limitation. So an education should not be just memorizing of facts, which is important. We need to have facts. We need to know there are so many continents in the world, that there's a word called India, there's a word called Europe. We need to get the geography. Learning is important. The question is that this learning has to be relevant to us as well. It's not knowing just what we were told. I think the question you're asking is that the relevance of this, like saying we were colonized, 60 years ago we became independent. Why would we do what we were told then? And I'm not even sure we were told. I think we may have told ourselves. Yeah. So I think the thing that you are saying, and the best way to benefit here is to appreciate. We appreciate the change that connected us with the rest of the world. Agreed we were on a journey. Agreed human beings have to have a way of knowing, of learning, of distinguishing what is right and wrong, or why are we here. The meaning of life, we may not discuss, but somehow there's a reason. So education becomes a problem when it is not responding and enabling people to become the best of who they are. When people become static in their learning, and you know, God in his way of putting things together created a world that rotates around itself every 24 hours and revolves around the sun every 365 days. And we need to understand life is not static, that we must keep evolving and learning. And so to go and say and do things that we were told, we need to know what we were told and then ask, what does it mean to me? I'll tell you, like, for example, some of the stagnations, 60 years repeating that we were colonized. Surely we are not static. We must learn what is it to pick from there. What is it to pick from this X and Y? Why did they say so? What does it mean to us now and with the future we aspire to have? So some of the things we must learn, like you said very, very well. In the system, when we got it, people say, oh, Muzungu did things to us. No, I think there's a lot of history. Our people wanted to know. Our people were curious. The Muzungu didn't have any intention of educating us. I think if you understand, he had no intention. He came to own land because human beings are territory seekers. Even as with our neighbors, we needed more territory. So he used these superior weapons and saw our land as his territory with that scramble for Africa. Now, having done that, just like COVID had the blessing of the Zoom and online, which has exposed us to another world. So in this thing, as he is coming, he needs workers. He needs clerks who can record to help him. So he needs to teach them just a little.
The basics.
To write names of people. But the moment they got that, they continued. That's why somebody was asking, where did we become like our parents? Did we resemble them? Like the Muranga. A is SEC and S. When the Muzungu says you must be like this, is to forget it. Our people read, came up with schools, and established them so that they were not static, they were not stuck. It is learning how to learn. Seeing, you don't go to Rome to become like Romans. You go to Rome to learn what is it that is new, so that you come home and become the better person of yourselves. And that's what our parents did. I did it very well. So it is not the Muzungu, it's our people. So now we come, then we become static. Some of the things we are doing, honestly, we need to question why. For example, why do we rank people? Why do you say we are number 1, you are number 40? What benefit is it? Whose benefit does this laboring people do? Might it be taking them away from the purpose of learning and making us focus on what is not? So to me, some of those things ought to be removed, and they are not necessary. They are not worthy. There is nobody number one in this life. We all are. Every child came to learn. So facilitate learning, not going to find faults, telling people that you don't know mathematics, you don't know. Biology. Yes, that's why they came. Yeah, that's precisely the reason they came. Facilitate them so that they learn how to know. Don't tell them. Put them in where they are able to see with their own eyes. Nice. That is what education should be, and ought to be. So we are there. How many years we spent in school? What is the content? That is nothing to do with our history. It is us. For example, doing physics and chemistry and biology, that doesn't teach us how to test the chemicals in the things around us, in the land, to know what it is. And saying we were told. I think we need to see, yes, we were told. What are you telling yourself? What are you telling the people? With what effect? And for what world? Because we must learn to live in this an increasing world while we are increasing. That is what made the people in Europe come to look for territory in our midst. So we too must learn how to look for territory. Yeah. And we can't look for territory when we are static. When the teacher thinks that their power there to make people feel small, that to me means a teacher needs to learn that education is not about your domination of the weak. It is creating facilitation for these human beings to learn. And there's nobody that is clever or foolish. There's nothing. Those are colonial terminologies which we need to retire. Everyone has potential. Everyone must eat. Yeah, so to me.
And I love what you said. If you don't know the purpose of why you are going to school, you will get everything wrong. You've been a lecturer since
1996.
So I can imagine the number of people that have passed through your hands. Take me through, assuming I'm fresh from high school and I want to join university. Mimi lazima wajue nilienda university. Are we together?
And Makerere, for that matter.
Yes. Lazima wajue mimi nataka nimalize shule. My parents, they are fascinated with the thought of knowing they have their child in uni. What is that mistake I'm bound to make by thinking that university is what I need? What is it that we don't get right about why we need to advance and why we need to go to uni?
Yeah, that's very, very important. Yeah, you see, this one, right from nursery school to standard one, the issue of purpose, knowing, exploration, having your curiosity aroused so that you are able to ask, why does this water bubble? I went to a school in a place called Kianjokoma in Embu. There are 12 rivers where you could fetch water all around our school. So you could go to this river, could go to this one, could go to this one. So you can tell it is like there's water underground. Yeah, because there are all sources of water. Of course, it's on the slopes of Mount Kenya. Yeah, so that asking and wondering should be there. So now, when you come to university, and one of the things I had realized because of the questions that I said, why in me, and realizing life is not about ticking boxes. Life is not living like robots, shouting, you are told to go insult somebody and no. We need to be present with our own thinking, very clear. So when people come to me, one, their past performance is not the thing that I focus on. So why have they come is the thing that I ask. What is it that you are looking for? So I start by helping them to see what's the meaning of life. You are not what you do. what you do, it doesn't define you.
Wow.
So that you are not doctor, professor, pastor, honorable. Those are labels that society uses, and they are temporary. Yeah, so you need to get in touch with who you are. That cannot be taken away, even when the economy changes or the world shakes. Or like I generally will ask my students, if you find yourself in the middle of Sahara, where your A grade is meaningless. Yeah, they don't follow the system. And would you make sense out of yourself? And in that we're asking, when there is no money in the bank account, when the labels are removed, who are you?
Who are you?
So that, to me, is a key issue we must get in touch with. Number 2, why are we here? What is it that we are looking for? What is your deepest longing? For example, you'll be told by anybody that has come through my class formally, there is a question in the introduction they'll deal with. Figure out you are 90 years old. Figure out there's some gathering. What do you hear people say about you? And what has come up over the many years I've been there and I have had those issues. People want to be remembered for being loving, inspirational, nice things.
Yes.
Then I turn it. If God answered all your prayers in the next 10 years, where do you see yourself? And describe your life. Cars, big houses, where are you living? And all kinds of temporary things. So the idea is compare what you deeply long for and what you are driving to. So, because it will leave a hollow in you.
Oh.
Yeah, that at the end of life, you realize where you lived. Like when I've been doing our studies in the university, which was the only one. There was no private or anything else. So the best of the estate is not what is the best of the estate today. So that people who feel the best of the car that like I remember a friend of mine said to me, if he had such a car and lived in a given estate in Nairobi. So the other day we were laughing, said, hey, God answered your prayer. Yeah, you'll be a historical monument. Yeah, so do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, so we need to get a purpose. The reason I'm here, that is far more than the temporary labels that we work with. That what we deeply long for, inspiration, serving people. Do you know human beings enjoy serving people? It's not about what people think of me. Yeah, what am I giving? What is my contribution? How am I responding to the answer to the society? Yeah, those kind of things are the deepest longing. But if you don't think through, you start focusing on the here and now. Yeah, so basically those are some of the things. And then we still keep asking, yeah, somehow people grow old. And I can assure you, where I am, with a bit of time to look back, life change. People that were tycoons, I don't know what happens to this life, that you look and wonder what happened.
What happened to them? People
who had titles that when they were talking, you can't cough. I mean, the other day we were asking, is so and so alive? Or did he die? Yeah, because he was a very, very important person. But so we were figuring out, we didn't hear his death. Then somebody mentioned him. I think he died around that time. And so we said, hey, life can be a cheat. This person was so powerful. But now people don't even remember him. That he's not there. You grow older. In fact, the older you grow, the more forgotten you become. Yeah, because younger people don't know you, don't know your achievements, don't know
and
your
they don't
status,
care.
And they don't care. So if that's all you have spent your time on, do you see this is what the Bible calls sinking sand? Mirage. You run after lakes that you never get. So get in touch with the reality. What matters? And let me tell you, Lynn, people matter. Love people. Love the Lord your God. Know where. before life, what is there life after this life? So get in touch with yourself. So we ask, yes, when this life is gone, when the labels are gone, and the things that we valued so much and mean nothing, and sometimes they mean nothing when we are still alive. Yeah, because you have your 12-bedroom house with sauna, jacuzzi, whatever those things, with swimming, but you can't even swim. Children are gone. You are all alone there. So, literally, they mean nothing when we are still alive, even before you die. Yeah, so, when you are not there, what is there? And that mark should not be what drives you either. Because I'm thinking we are getting idols, things to make us not enjoy our life. Because, what will they say about me? No, just live. Do good. Yeah, what they'll say is their problem. And in any case, they'll say, depending on who has inculcated beliefs in them. Yeah, so those are some.
So before you even do that, ask yourself why. Why do I even want to go to uni?
Yeah.
Why do I want to enroll in this course?
Yeah. Don't go to university because of what people will say. Go to learn, go to know, go to explore territories of knowledge. Go to mix your curiosity with curiosity of others, so that as you read, you see, so someone else thought about this. And as you see, otherwise if you don't, you will get papers that mean nothing. There will be people celebrating graduations like we have made it such a big issue without even seeing what does it mean, where it comes from. Agreed, it's good to celebrate, but you need a way that it is answering your own question. So to me, we shouldn't go to university so that we are said we have a degree, or we are, become things, or we are called professor or doctor, or those titles that we have given value. Remember, it's us giving value, but can't answer any question of life. I think we need to see, what am I looking for? Yeah, like when since I teach those who end up in journalism, so we ask, as you go, journalism is one of the best things to me that we need to learn. Because basically, you need curiosity. You need to look back to the person not clapping when everybody is cheering, and go to find out what is it. So that curiosity. I want to be the mouth, the eye, the voice for the voiceless. Why is this community saying they are not having graduates? What is it about the education system, the beliefs of the people? So the journalist is an explorer that brings out what is left behind. So have a reason. And so when you are fully or well educated, when the degree has meaning, and I was doing my PhD, one of the people that I interviewed say that it's a shame. University is not a place where we go to train people to look for jobs. I mean, sincerely, if you have spent 12 years of life, you should be able to live. University should be people where those who come through are job creators, not job seekers. They are job creators because they have come to wonder, to ask, like one of the questions he asked is that, why are we getting help? Why are people helping us? What is it about them that they are not needing our help and we continually need their help? Might it be just the way we think, so that we are not able to explore our own potential? And how can we also explore and expand territories even in those places? We talk about people setting prices for us, but if we have quality, wouldn't we be the ones to set products? So university should be a place where people's learning and exploration is such that it leaves them creating opportunities, not limiting.
They are not job seekers.
They are not job seekers.
Creators.
In fact, that particular responded to my interview because I was trying to look at, why very many people in Kenya who go to school want to be foreign. And by the way, over 90% of Kenyans, their deepest desire is to go away.
Wait, what?
Is to go away. I mean, ask, yes, ask when God has answered your question. They want to be in America. They want to go away.
I don't want. Yes.
Yeah, and which is true because even for us, we left villages. We go away. Yeah, there's something about going away. So what I observed is that there are very few who come back and do things that are transformative. So my question is the kind of communication that they have, the interpersonal relationships that made them want to come back. So it is one of those people who was telling me that when you go to school, you should marry education. It shouldn't marry you. I mean, he was trying to explain to me that, you see, like in our cultures, a girl gets married.
Yes.
You pick the name, the language, the thing, and like Kikuyu culture, even the first child is named that way. Yeah, so you get married. That's why we need to speak our languages, because when we speak other people's languages, anybody marries anybody, which is ridiculous. Now, in school, when you are married, so it is the culture, you learn the culture of the people to whom you are married. Now, when you go to school, you should be the one to tell education what it is you need.
Oh.
It is not education to tell you
what you need.
It is you to give it the title. It should pick your name, not you picking its title. That's why I said these labels is a sign of insecurity. It's a sign of deep hunger, of some longing not satisfied, because you are pursuing a path that is not going to satisfy you. Yeah, so education should be that which it is you to tell it. So you don't have to graduate or do this. Like now, I did become, but my other pursuits are not that. Because I realized, no, this is not answering the question I'm looking for. Yeah, so so it's you to know what it is you are looking for and tell it, so that it is you to define it, not it to define you. And that's how, like now we need to look at the word and look at it seriously and sincerely. Chinese are coming. Everybody is coming. They are taking our land. Our own graduates are dividing our land into plots, 50 by 100. Where are we going to be now, even in 10 years? What is this? This is self-destruction. It is not development. So we need to learn to see and to question. So university is not a place that we are just happy we have certificate. No, certificate is a by the way. It is the learning, it's the defining, it is the becoming. Yeah,
the solutions. Be a solution.
Yeah, and solution not just local here. It is not that you think, she has done a PhD or she has written a paper. Who is reading that paper? And for what purpose? Why am I publishing? It's not just publishing because people do. Now, am I people getting the answer to the questions that they are having? So if university can't enable you to do that, I'm sorry, but I think it's abuse. Yeah.
Oi. So, because kunywa ka coffee. No, because because you did not understand the purpose, you come out, and because life has been curated for you, education defined you.
Yeah.
You know, after here, I need work, job. I need to be employed. You start sending CVs because you did not understand the mandate.
And learning how to run is, the one who came up with this company, why did they come up with it? With what purpose? You see, like now, we people buy shares in companies, Shell, what? Then we buy the oil, it's okay. What about us coming with a company where we can sell products out there so that we are shareholders and they work for us? You get it? Yeah, so that's our thinking to me that we need to rethink. We need to wonder why we are doing things. You see, and you see now this kind of mindset. One, you see, running away, you run away, and then you realize there was nowhere to run to. Yeah, you know, like you can run away, but since you don't know where you are going, so the life just passes. You know, this life is so brief. So we need, to be able to look, to pause. You know, in the Bible, I'm a Christian, I'm born again. I needed to say that. In the Bible, the concept of Sabbath rest is inbuilt in creation. God built that, He created human beings.
Yes.
Then the first thing they did was to rest with God. And then He gives it as a commandment. I think we need to put into ourselves that it's not just about living, it's not about work, that we need regular resting to ask, what am I doing? What does it mean to be a father? What does it mean to be a mother or a wife? It is not we were told what boys can do, girls can do. What are you saying? A girl cannot be a boy. I mean, they can't. They can't get pregnant. Yeah, can't we talk? Can we come home? Yeah, so we need a moment out of the
ordinary.
Yeah, husband, bustle, and then think. Then, you know, in that rest we get replenished. We get identity. That I am not what I do, but it is a joy, it is a pleasure. So that even as a student, it makes it easier when you know that this is what I'm looking for. By the way, I find students will now go look for far more than I would when they know what it is. Yeah, but when you sit there to assign blame, the teacher didn't tell me, the government did not provide, the MP, I mean, we simply become, invalid. Yeah, because it's like we have validated the system, and now it is our Lord, and we are kind of there. So that you see a lot of signing blame to the government or to political parties or to, you know, things that are giving us some kind of feeling like we are doing something. But the real thing is just like I thank God for the late Mishuke and people like that God has used. Manambas, you know, shouting, you know, that we are going to Kangemi, we are going to Embu, we are going. Even if you didn't shout, I came from home knowing where I'm going. I will get my transport. That's not a job. That's not a job at all. It's like this, we are calling it facilitation. There's nothing there. Be honest. You are doing nothing. Be honest with yourself. So let's look for something concrete. So Sabbath enable you to rest, to be honest with yourself, so that you operate from identity, not for identity. Yeah.
From identity and not for identity. What are the chances that a lot of people who graduate are operating for identity?
99%.
Oh.
So you just go to the way out.
Yeah.
Just go back home, rethink, refresh. Sometimes we told, you know, you study something, and therefore it becomes your prison. Yeah, that I am an engineer. I am what? I find it so weird when people introduce themselves with what they do. I mean, you can see the insecurity in there because you are not what you do. Your name is not what you do.
Is that why you deliberately left out the doctorate as?
Yeah, you don't give yourself a title. It is others.
Because my brief says Dr. Rebecca.
Yeah.
But when you introduced yourself, I was like, wait.
I am pastor. I said, no, you are not pastor. You are Kamau. But you do pastor. You get it?
Yes.
That's what you do. So what you do is not you. Because when you intertwine yourself with what you do, I'm telling you, get lost. Yeah, so there is need to remove and be yourself.
Yes.
Because it liberates you. And liberated people, is that self that will survive irrespective of environment and changes. That's why I say the world rolls a dog. So changes will come. Things will come. Change of government, change of what, loss of jobs, promotions that are beyond what you expected. Ability to cope with them is when you look at them outside yourself, because you know who you are. So those things are not you. Yeah, so for me, an education should enable us. So we operate from identity, and basically people who operate looking for identity assign blame. They look for who to blame to be in charge. So it is the teacher, the parents didn't bring me right, the system, the government.
The job opportunities.
My question is, what is your role in it? Just to say, and I'm telling you, when you are taught by a teacher whose mission is to tell you what you don't know, then that's how you become this person. Yeah, because somehow the lostness begins from that.
There.
Yeah, that
the fact that the teacher
does
seems
not know
superior.
Yeah.
They want to make sure they are the ones telling you what you don't know.
So your deepest longing becomes how to overpower others.
To know.
Yeah, no, you want to overpower them, to control, to make them do things.
Now the teacher's
rather than
perspective.
working with the people to explore. Because in exploration, we need each other. So we need to, what have you found? Oh, yes. What have you found? Yes. And we desperately need it in our country and in our situation, particularly in Africa, because you can see we are the world is being scrambled, and we on the table. And we will not be on the table in as long as we are so focused on non-essentials, on non-titles. People are professors, they never profess anything. So profess so that people call you professor because they know what you profess. Yeah, so it's not just what they call you, but what difference it is making. And let me tell you, Lynn, when you are on this mission in life, whether they call you or not is not the issue. You know who you are. Yeah, and your titles, literally, we have many titles. You need to know to distinguish yourself. Yeah, which kofia you live here and which kofia you put here. So if you are a professor, when you come home, put on the apron or the kanga, go to the kitchen, you are wife, you are mother. This is not the professing thing. This is not where you come to, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so know where you are and work within that limit. Be excellent in what you do when you are there. But don't keep mixing things. Because I've heard people saying that, an educated woman, becomes unmanageable or such. I said, no. That's not education. That one just went to tick boxes. Yeah.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, this is an awakening, even for me. Even for me. Because then, if it's a struggle even sitting here, then where? People go to school to tick boxes.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, you are hollow.
Zero.
Inside. That's why you are looking for what to add to yourself.
You keep moving from this degree to the other.
How many am I smart? Am I what? Just get a mirror. Look at yourself. Like what you see. Then walk out to serve.
Walk out and serve.
And serve. Look at, how can I be of help? How can I help? Let me quote a friend of mine that fascinates me. Yeah, she's a widow. Has served her term in the office, but somebody who knows who they are. So she told me where she's living at the moment, there are challenges. Yeah, so she would meet this elderly person with very little money. Children not able to help because they themselves are struggling. Yeah, so she would go to the shop, ask for salt, ask for sugar, ask for this. Then the bill, the money she has can't pay. So a lot of things have to be returned. So this lady friend of mine, she went and saw it, and they know each other with that lady, and she didn't say anything. So the lady went away with very little. So when she went away, this lady said, whatever you returned, pack it. Then she told the shopkeeper, this lady, when she comes, let her take whatever it is she wants. Let her give you the money she has, and you'll say that is okay. Then bill me. So in other words, allow her to enjoy dignity, to know she bought. Wow. Yes, and she's provided for, because literally how much can one person eat? Yeah, so it's so little. Yeah, so she would go every month, clear the bill. And the other lady is so thankful. She is having things. You know, to me, this is dignity. Life is about dignifying people. Look for service. How to enable someone not feel sorry for themselves, but to thank God for life, for the long life, and to provide. And if you share the little with them, and you don't have to have cameras or people clapping for you, that is a weakness. Just go and serve the people. So for me, a good education enables people to serve. It is not the grades you got. Those are temporary and neither here nor there, because you can see, like now, those of us when we had Division 1 and all those, and that university, that time, as I'm saying, you know, the education system, somebody told me in the 1920s, there was something policy passed on where the filtering, only 20% will go to the next level. Yeah, so that those early days, there will be sub A, sub B, sub C. For Africans only. The Wazungus went straight to standard 1. So it kept removing people. So generally, people are left feeling bad about themselves because they feel they are failures. So even those who have gone feel insecure. So standard 4, they were dropped again. Standard 8, they were dropped again. So the whole thing is misery causing. Yeah, because it leaves you feeling a failure. So certainly to go to the university then means you have been sieved the 20%. Unfortunately, the industry is the same. So it was only taking the 20%. Yeah, so what has happened currently is that the industries have expanded, and also we have expanded with the Harambee to begin with, and then expanded the universities and everything. So the industry remains taking 20%, but we are producing more than 20%. So we need universities learning, and you don't have to be university to be a thinker, to wonder how do we handle this gap. And it doesn't have to be a government thing. Government people come from us. They are part of us. So it's our thinking that needs to continue there. Yeah, so to me, those are some of the things that we need to look to the history. You see, the history is very important. So that we see, how did we get here? What was the thinking? Is this thinking valid today? How do we go on? Yeah, so those are some of the things I think we need to.
I love that. Walk me through the personality of, I know you are not an advocate of grading. We are a 10, 20, but there's always that notion that a C student in the job market will perform better than an A student. A students never make employers. They are always employed. And the B students will work for the government. So could you walk me through the mindset? What makes a C student successful in the job market?
Yeah, I remember reading that concept quite some time back. And it was like, oh, I mean, it's so true that often the C students are the entrepreneurs. They are the risk takers. And so, yeah, it is true. One, when you are conditioned or inculcated to think that the meaning of life is to please whoever is in power. So you lose your own mission in order to do this of pleasing. So you realize pleasing the teacher is what gives you marks. So you do what the system requires. You never examine, yes, I agree, and it's important to know this, but with what effect? So when you go through that, you become, literally the best of the students is the one who tells you what you want to hear. Therefore, they will get it. It's unfortunate when they take some of the jobs because the reality on the ground requires a thinking mind, not a pleasing system mind.
Oh.
Yeah, that you can't please, because you see, with this mind of pleasing the teacher, when you go to job is to please the employer. Yeah, you are reading their lips. What do they want? Are they smiling? So you give them what they want. So basically you are not innate. You are there to please whoever it is. Now you are a doctor. Pleasing the system. There is a case here that requires thinking. You know, sugar issues, what? Mountain people getting more sugar. Then you say, oh, you are not eating the old traditional food. You are not walking. And I say, just a minute. Where we come from, there is no vehicle that can take you. The hills are so sharp that you are forever climbing. You are forever carrying. You are taking the the pumpkin leaves and the pumpkin. What is this? But the person is telling you what they read in the book. So, you need to come home, my brother. Let's get to the society and read and check the book. You get what it means?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So now, when your mind is to please, when you are conditioned from childhood, you live to please. For sure, you need an employer. Now, the C student is the one who can dare to doze in class, who can dare to pick some fruit on the way to school,
Yes.
Or run after some dog. They seek pleasures. They live, they see. Yeah, so they are the ones who will dare take risks because they have learned how to take risks. And I think that's how I can explain.
Yes. I never had a more clear definition.
Yeah.
Do you witness this with your students? Do you look at students and you are like, this has people pleasing intent? Do you talk to them? Do you tell them, stop, please, stop pleasing me, stop, take risks? Do you tell them? Are you in a position to see it and tell them this is not the right way to go?
Actually, because of this, literally, I went into education. As I'm saying, I'm not, through the system.
Yes.
That would be, for which I'm grateful. Yeah, because it kind of gives you leeway to discover. You know, like one time I'm teaching in high school, and I'm so shaken. Yeah, because I've not been taught how to teach. I'm not a trained teacher. And I'm teaching a subject that I wasn't very good at. And I'm the only teacher. You get that the students will fail. And generally, teacher are used to saying, oh, those boys. Oh, assigning blame to them rather than seeing there must be a way you facilitated. Yes. That didn't work. And I'm telling you, by grace of God, at least the school had grades they had never gotten before. Because students need relaxation, acceptance, love, enabling them know they know. Not embarrassing and humiliating them, calling their parents. I'm saying, you are a home teacher, where does the parent, can you help? Or beating them. You don't cause pain if you want someone to know. No, find out what it is that is holding them, to have conversation, that kind of thing. So, in my teaching, one of the things I encourage is to reflect, critically examine. Why am I feeling the way I feel? You don't assign, emotions without seeing it's a belief. What is the belief? What is the root cause? When did you start feeling that way? You see, like now you go to class, I tell them we introduce ourselves. I tell them that where I come from. I tell them this is the best place. Yeah, because you see, the idea is if you don't like who you are, don't think others We will like you, we will like it. Yeah, so it's you to make your place look good. Yeah, so basically then as we go on, say, what did you think about that? Oh, so that you are proud. So, yeah, what made you think that way? So the system has made you think if you appreciate who you are, it's negative. Yeah, so is that true? You know, it's Genesis chapter 3, verse 11, where God asked the man, who told you that you are naked? Yeah, what is the source of the belief that you hold on to? So critically examine, reflect on why you think the way you think, and trace the root cause, and then examine the validity of that source. Because if the teacher told you you are not good, did the teacher have the knowledge to know who you are?
Or what's good?
Or what is good? What was the experience? Or your grandmother says, this one looks like the grandfather of that. Is that? And he's on to think that way. You are not. You are a mixture of many genes, not just that one, and exposure. Yeah. So I normally encourage self-reflection and not expecting to be evaluated by an outsider. Self-evaluation. Examine. Don't write for me. Write for yourself. I will not give you marks. But I will recognize that you did that. Yeah. So I normally encourage that and encourage conversations, asking, question. Even when you find yourself the mind going away in class or something, in a conversation, you need to ask why. What was the trigger? And where did it go to? Be honest with yourself and examine the things that you do, why you do, what is success? What is to make it? Yeah, because we are driven and consciously by what we see as success. Because deep in us, we want to be successful. We want to make it. So we need to define what is it, so that we don't go through life. Then at the age of 90, we are looking back when we have nobody to employ us or to marry us or to do things, and realize we missed the opportunity. So my teaching basically is to facilitate. So we look back, we look forth, we look sideways, 360 degree kind of looking around. Yeah, because you see, like, that question of what is to make it, we need to examine. Yeah, because whatever it is going to make us work hard, do whatever it is we do. Yeah, it's making it having good relationship with people around us. Being able to listen to them and then being able to listen to us. Or is to make us to have tools, things, big, such, why do we think big is a sign of success? So those, so we normally do a lot of, whatever course I teach, that I find myself exploring.
Big is not a sign of success.
It could be or could not be.
Depending on your definition.
Don't give it value. Let's examine so that we attach value appropriately. Yeah.
Are we obsessed with jobs, being employed, coming from school, again, as you said, ticking boxes?
Yeah.
Is the job part an obsession to majority of us who finish uni?
We have been conditioned. The people we saw who made it are those who had jobs. So the image in our mind of success is to be employed. Yeah, so that makes us see, because the image you have in you, an image that is formed from when you don't even know, literally drives you and makes you attach meaning to what you see.
Yeah.
Now, my struggle is, in this, our Kenya, people that seem to go to hospitals that you pay quite a bit are not the people who are employed. People who seem to eat the best of the land are not the people. So basically, like in our discussions, See, the people who left their babies with foreigners to look after them and working hard don't seem to be doing as well as the mothers who breastfed their babies fully and still got education. I mean, there's something. So it's, let's learn from our community, not just a textbook written from a given culture. Let's see, how is the Indian doing? How is the Somali doing? How is the Chinese doing? Can we have broader view? And that's, for me, is what education should be. So the obsession with employment is because right from our childhood, and our parents and everybody told us, the education is the key. Therefore, as I'm saying, if we are told this is what it is, naturally we tend to do that which is. Yeah, so we follow it without saying, yes, agreed, education is key, but what's the content? What's the environment? What is education? Yeah, we need to define it. Yeah, otherwise it's not just going to a classroom. In fact, going to a classroom may not be necessary education. Maybe taking a lot of vitamin D from you and also learning from the life that you need to.
And what a jua.
Yeah, and what a jua. There's a lot of education there.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes, like when it has been raining and the sun comes and it feels nice.
Yeah.
And I tell my students, let's go under that tree.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like the whole system is like, this is not serious. I say, no. Serious learning does not have to be under code rooms. No, we can learn out there even watching the stars. Yeah, so, and very, very serious learning. People learn when they are relaxed. Yeah, so I think we
not
need to
when
encourage
their mind
ourselves.
is crowded.
And literally what you're asking is a question we need to have conversations here, because this obsession, let's look around us. Let's learn from around us. Yeah, because sometimes we may think we know, but it's because we haven't examined what we know and learning to see what is around us and then knowing what it is we are looking for. Yeah.
I love that. You seem to have figured your way out in a good way. You seem to have gone through a couple of life lessons here and there. An awakening. Hey, mi nataka nipate PhD nisijiite doctor. Itakuwa nakuja hizo, I'm Dr. Lynn Ngugi.
And it's not a problem. But getting a PhD is not even
I'm just saying, like, I admire how much of an awakening you've had to go through. Because never in my life have I ever figured that the reason why this is such a burden is because we don't know the purpose. It's because we are ticking boxes. It's because there is what we've been conditioned to do. You are a child, you grow up, you go to school, you get someone, you get married, or you get a good job, you go get a big car, a big house, voila.
Yeah, voila. Then the big car, where I am at the moment, good family, 2 boys, 2 girls. Particularly I'm from Mount Kenya region. Yes. Now they are there. They are living in the world. Okay, so some of the tears now is that they are not getting married, or they are not following the path you designed, which is okay. Yeah, because you see, what is the path that we need to go through? Yeah, but one of the things that I would truly encourage all of us is reading. I went to school straight to standard 1. Reading. I remember in Form 1, our teachers that time, most of them were foreign, they were British and Americans. There was a system. Every Friday, we exchanged books we called readers.
Yeah.
Now, some of us liked the story so much, so we will read very fast so that you exchange before Friday. So by Friday, you are getting another. So you read far more than the system required. Do you know, when we meet with my friends, we say that was the game changer. Because knowing, exploration, the greater the land you see, like Abraham was told, you will possess. So failing to read, it's like a teacher coming to read notes to students is abusive. Because if they know how to read, facilitate them so that they read, they see for themselves, and read that and read another and another. Yeah, so to me, the moment we lose that angle of reading novels, reading biographies, reading about other countries, so that you can see from where they are. Like, my teacher, or rather, I did literature in A level, that novels are the mirror of the society. So, yes, you are an engineer, but engineering what? Engineering, coming with tools on constructions, but constructions are based on concepts. What are the concepts? What's the thinking behind this architecture? Whose it's it and why? So learn how to read so that you be original. Yeah, so we mix thoughts, see, and then you can now see, this is what I see. Yeah, rather than just being driven by what others have seen, that you too have a space and you are valid. You are present and you are living. Yeah, because you can go through life and not live.
You exist.
You can just exist and then you are 102 years. So, yeah, but have you enjoyed a cup of coffee like I am doing? For me, this is what life is. So basically what has helped me in life is that curiosity, that reading, that you are never without a book, that getting certificate from 4 does not, there's nothing like, do we say finishing school or completing?
Nimemaliza.
Yeah, no. Who came up with that system, the Greeks, they say they have given you power to read and do all that which pertain to the degree that they have given you. So it is not power to stop. It is power to explore. You have been permitted. And so we need to go back. It's not just the gowns. It is the power. So how are you using that power? So if you are not reading a book that is expanding your thinking, that is answering something in you, then you are not doing well. In fact, the moment you close up that learning, the moment you fail to attend seminars on even things that you know, but you want to hear it from another angle, the moment you fail to watch TikTok of Lynn Ngugi.
Wait a minute.
You are closed up.
Yeah,
because we must, in as long as God has given us life, let's keep learning. Let's keep exploring. Let's keep seeing, like their TikToks, I would never want to be in, because you can see this is, there is something that has been in our culture, desire to be entertained. There's excessive desire for entertainment. And I think it's because we haven't spent enough time to think, because even that entertainment should be examined. Why this? And not this, and with what effect? So all those need to come. Yes.
What's the greatest lesson you've learned about life?
Life is lived. Yeah, life is lived. Yeah, and life is about people that love people, listen to people, love God.
Yes.
Love God with all your heart, with all your mind. Read the Word of God. Let it examine you. Let it give you value, because you need foundational values on which you operate. And then, now, like the Bible says, love your neighbor. Think about what it is you do that create a facilitation, enabling for this neighbor. That neighbor could be your student. That neighbor could be your child, or your or physical neighbor, or just a traveler with you in the journey of life. So, how can I make it easier? Like I've said about my friend, you see someone disabled economically. How can I make it easier for them?
While maintaining their dignity.
In maintaining their dignity. Yeah, because God created us in His image, and we need to do, because they are all factors to make that. Yeah, so we must never stop learning and listening. And that curiosity that is God-given, we should never stop. Yeah.
From where you are sitting, if there are any graduates who are watching this, they are jobless, they are hopeless, what's that one thing you would tell them?
That the rotating of the earth around itself is one of the best things that God created. It means there's a new morning. You don't have to be there because the school didn't do or things didn't do. You can begin any day. So there's a new morning every day that you can make a difference. You can stop and ask yourself what it is. What is a thing that I see needed that I could provide and people are happy? Like what I think you did, that the stories, people need to hear what is happening. So Lynn Ngugi will get a story. You are answering some curiosity in the people. And you see, as you go, you realize for sure these followers is because there is something. Otherwise, they will not follow you. So to me, the graduates watching, one is to be grateful that even if it was shallow, copy noting and all that, it's okay. There's something even in those notes. Now begin from there to learn for yourself, to use the power, to explore, to know them, to be part of the world and what market. You know, to go to a market, any donyo, you must have a product. You must have a service you're providing. Otherwise, what are you in the market
for?
If you have no product, you have no service, and you are not a buyer.
Why are you there?
Because you are either buying the service or the product. So to say we are in the world market, to say we are modern, that's another concept that I think is weird. Because what do you mean by modern? We are the thoughts we have. And whose thoughts are they? We need to examine the thoughts. There's nothing modern in being a slave to somebody else's thinking. So examine that in the world market. What is the product that you are bringing or the service? That yes, you are a consumer of other people's thinking, the content of Lynn Ngugi, the content of so and so. Agreed. After you consume, so
what?
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Profound.
Yeah, so there is a new morning. Lamentations chapter 3 verse 22. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Wake up. You are not a historical factor. You can always have a beginning. And we keep reading about people who have had a beginning at an old age. And there is nothing wasted. There is no knowledge or experience wasted. Use that which you have to build on.
Yes, a product or a service.
Or money to buy the product.
Money to buy the product.
Otherwise,
the buyer. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you see someone in the market, they are not buying, they are not selling, they are not, I mean, they will become suspicious.
Of course.
And when people suspect you, you become emotionally disturbed. Yeah, because it's like, I mean, everybody's hiding from you. So then you get depression.
Yeah.
Then we have mental issues. So I think we could sort them if we sorted ourselves out. Agreed, there are some issues, of course, that we know they are biological, chemical, disorganization and all that. But we need also to, keep examining ourselves. Yeah, in what it is we are there for. And however small, let's be present. Let's be there. Let's not assign blame. Yeah, just who told you that that is the issue? And what have you told yourself? Let's not be a generation of a crowd that just shout that because people say so and so is bad, therefore that person is bad. No. Find out, why do you think they are bad? What might be? And may I put it to you, that some of those things that, people marginalized, removed from the community, they could be having the answers we are looking for. They could be the people. So learn to listen to them.
Learn to listen. Thank you. We've learned, we've unlearned, we are relearning. I honestly thought the conversation would just be about why graduates are suffering, for lack of better word. But I think it's a life. What you've given us is a life lesson for each and every one of us. We are existing. Majority of people out here are existing. They are not living.
And may I repeat?
Yeah.
We are increasing, but the land is not expanding. Therefore, if we think the land will feed us, I think we need to rethink and look at the world and see. When Britain became, the population increased and those islands are so few, they started exploring. They started looking. So do not think that anybody is going to think for you. We must be the answers. And there is no savior for us outside us. Even when God wanted the Israelites, the Hebrew people from Egypt, he had to use one of them, Moses. But he learns and then uses the knowledge he has. So we need to see, what is it that we know? What is it that we could know that would help us? Where can we get it? Then we come. Because it's not, we are increasing. When in 1963 I was in school, and they did a census, and I think we were 8 million, if I remember. Now you people have come. And we are still there.
Yes.
So we must figure out how to organize ourselves so that we live and live in dignity. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Let me let you enjoy your coffee. This has been very, very educative, even for me as a person. Do you have a parting shot? Do you have maybe a parting shot to our audience?
Yeah, maybe my parting shot is that, to be honest, I mean, we have a history. A history as a people, as a country. And that history has impact on us. We speak English because we are colonized by the British. Our history cannot be wished away. And assigning blame and abusing is not the answer. As individuals, we have a history. We come from families where there may be issues or not issues, whatever issue, we have our own history. And in all this, I believe God intends us, to make sense and make use of the world in which we are and of the histories we have, learn from them, not be, immortalized by them. That's why we shouldn't use titles and such to immortalize ourselves. No. Let's keep learning. Let's keep going. If people call us things, if they say we did good, well and good. I mean, don't be there for people to clap for you. If anything, I hate the culture of clapping. Let's move on. Yeah, they can be clapping, it's okay. Let's not forget our mission, our duty, our purpose. So we need to keep encouraging. So to be in touch with ourselves, selfhood is the most important thing. But do you know, because we are creation and we have issues, we need God who says that he loves us and that he gives us strength, that he forgives us, that he enables us, that when we feel we don't have to work, to be guilty and feel we can't move, he has a second chance. So we need to know what we worship. Human beings are religious. And so to know and verify who you worship is so important. I worship the living God. I believe in what Jesus Christ did. So the forgiveness of sin. And so that self is the forgiven self, is the one that loves God, therefore gives me enabling power to make sense out of my life. Yeah. So I read my Bible and pray from the Bible, not from the TV or other. I want, what is God saying? Because it seems to have a plan, and I am included and you are included. And so basically the question is, Lord, help me. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Help me to play my part in that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Shukran. Well, may his will be done. Oui. It's a moment of reflecting. I appreciate you. Shall we wind up?
Yes.
But I don't have anything to add, guys. I know basically I loved her concept of take some rest, reflect, and ask yourself, what's going on? If your body feels a certain type of way, rest and ask yourself what's happening. Honestly, I feel like we could have her again for life lessons. This has been very, very, very enlightening, and I hope you have your take home on the comment section. Please do let me know what stood out most for you in this conversation. Remember to share it with your friends, and also to thank you for just listening in. We are closing the year in a good way, having this thought-provoking conversation. So shukran sana. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow 7 p.m. or we are back to 10 a.m. So hopefully I see you 10 a.m. or 7 p.m. Take care. Bye.